Movies that are going to blow everyone away in 2017. Though 2016 has been an epic year for movies, it almost feels like a warm-up when you look at the long list of blockbuster films already on the release calendar for 2017. Even though next year still feels far away, it's never too early to get excited about taking a trip to the theater. So we've lined up the biggest upcoming releases, and whether you're into action, comedy, horror, or drama, there's something here for everyone. Number 10. Resident Evil, The Final Chapter, January 27. 5 years after Resident Evil, Retribution, Milla Jovovich returns to close out the sci-fi horror franchise she's led for more than a decade, and nearly $1 billion in worldwide grosses. Despite the long lapse between sequels, this sixth installment will reportedly pick up right where Retribution left off, while following director Paul W. S. Anderson's mandate to come full circle with the saga of a dystopian future in which a corporate-created virus has unleashed a zombie plague. In other words, if you haven't been watching so far, this isn't the best place to come in, but if the Umbrella Corporation, Raccoon City, and T-Virus are meaningful phrases for you, then you may want to mark your calendar. Number 8. John Wick, Chapter 2, February 10. After everything he went through in the first movie, what could possibly convince John Wick to come out of retirement? Dog lovers will be relieved to hear it isn't the death of another pooch that gets his guns blazing in John Wick, Chapter 2. This time, one of John's old buddies is in the middle of a scheme to topple an assassin's guild and he needs backup. The circumstances are different, but the end results look pretty much the same. Tons of stylish violence with Keanu Reeves in the middle of it all, back in the role he might have been born to play. Number 7. The Lego Batman Movie, February 10. Not long ago, the idea of a movie based on Legos seemed too silly for words, but then the Lego Movie racked up nearly $470 million while making us all root for plastic bricks, and play Everything is Awesome on endless repeat. Taking the hint, Warner Brothers is diving right in with a universe of Lego-derived films, starting with this spin-off, which brings back Will Arnett as Gotham's caped crusader. He's joined by an intriguing cast that includes his Arrested Development castmate Michael Cera as Robin, Zach Galifianakis as the Joker, and Mariah Carey as the Mayor, and with Lego Movie animation co-director Chris McKay on board to helm the film from a script by Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter director Seth Grahame-Smith, we're sure plenty of inspired silliness awaits. Number 6. The Great Wall, February 17. Zhang Yimou's sprawling historical fantasy epic The Great Wall has been hit with early backlash over its casting of Matt Damon as the star of what's otherwise an Eastern narrative. But the film has an intriguing, albeit a little ridiculous, idea. The Great Wall of China was built to keep out more than just unwanted human neighbors. The story was created in part by World War Z novelist Max Brooks, whose book segments about China's part in the zombie apocalypse were criminally underserved in the cinematic adaptation of his story, so this could be a point of serious creative redemption. Plus, the promotional materials have shown some ambitious special effects and stunts, and born hero Damon's had some strong action successes in the past. From everything we've seen so far, The Great Wall will at least be a spectacular showcase of effects-heavy cinematography. Number 5. Logan, March 3. Hugh Jackman has played Wolverine for so long that it's nearly impossible to imagine anyone else in the role of the adamantium-clawed X-Men mutant. Soon, Fox will need to figure out who'll be the next actor to play the part. But first, Jackman's getting his swan song with a third standalone Wolverine feature. The film's plot draws from Marvel's Old Man Logan comic, about an alternate future version of the, nearly, ageless hero. The film will also feature the return of Patrick Stewart's Professor X, adding yet another layer of closure for longtime fans of the franchise. Number 4. Kong, Skull Island, March 10. None of the many attempts to expand or remake the story of King Kong have managed to come anywhere near the classic original. But where there's franchise potential, there's a would-be blockbuster waiting to happen. So on March 10, 2017, the big guy returns with Kong, Skull Island. Directed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts, the Kings of Summer, and starring Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, and Samuel L. Jackson, this 70s set trip into the Kong mythos gives viewers the biggest version of the character they've ever seen, which is a good thing for Kong, because after Skull Island finishes its theatrical run, Legendary is planning to pit him against Godzilla in a monster mashup for the ages. Number 3. Beauty and the Beast, March 17. Disney's campaign to turn each of their animated classics into live-action blockbusters continues with Beauty and the Beast, which offers a new perspective on their 1991 hit. Like Disney's earlier Beauty, this version draws inspiration from the classic fairy tale about a prince, played here by Dan Stevens, who's cursed with a grotesque appearance, yet finds love with a pure-hearted maiden, Emma Watson, imprisoned in his castle after her father, Kevin Kline, offers her up in a deal to spare his own life. Like a lot of stories from the era, it's rather dark, but Disney's animated adaptation put a family-friendly spin on it with music and humor, and we can expect the same here, plus a cast that includes Ewan McGregor and Sir Ian McKellen. Number 2. Power Rangers, March 24. Go Go Power Rangers! Whether or not you've ever had a preference for the red, yellow, pink, blue, black, or even the occasionally seen green or white Rangers, those ninja steel-wielding high schoolers were loads of fun to watch, and dress up as, back in the day. The forthcoming Power Rangers isn't the first movie to capitalize on the Mighty Morphin 90s craze, of course. During the original family television series' popular run, the show's cast members teamed up for a big-screen adventure in the somewhat successful 1995 film Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, which was quickly followed up by 1997's Turbo, a Power Rangers movie and several spin-off series. However, director Dean Israelite's take on the story offers a much more serious and emotionally charged account of how these misfit teens managed to become a band of unlikely world saviors, battling back the forces of evil, namely, Rita Repulsa, Elizabeth Banks with the help of their sage mentor Zordon, Bryan Cranston. The film features young actors Docker Montgomery, R.J. Seiler, Naomi Scott, Becky G., Zach Taylor, and Billy Cranston as the superhero squad, and if the film does manage to renew even a smidgen of the Power Rangers frenzy that the series enjoyed in the 90s, it's going to be massive. Number 1. Ghost in the Shell, March 31. Rupert Sanders' adaptation of the popular Masamune Shirow manga series of the same name has been riddled with controversy over its whitewashed casting of Scarlett Johansson as the main heroine, the Mayor. But Johansson's box office track record is still nothing to discount, and Sanders and Johansson also received the in-person blessings of Mamoru Oshii, Kenji Kamiyama, and Kenji Kawai, who were each responsible for the original animated versions of the story. Assuming audiences can look past the controversy surrounding the racial inconsistencies from page to screen, Ghost in the Shell is expected to be a visual spectacular that chronicles an epic chase between a cyborg policewoman and a dangerous hacker with the same kind of gnarly effects and existential futurism that captivated audiences in films like The Matrix, Johansson's own turn in Lucy, and The Fifth Element.